It's Fountain of Youth Day at Gulfstream. Let's get it.
Trust the Profits is proud to be sponsored by Game of Silks. Go to silks.io to get in the game. Real ownership, real races, real rewards.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Pick 5 Players Show. I'm your host, Michael Pellerin, a.k.a. Horse Guy Mike. And today we're talking about the all-graded stakes Pick 5 sequence this weekend at Gulfstream. Big Fountain of Youth Day there. Gulfstream always does it big on these really important days. They have so many graded stakes, they couldn't even fit them all into the Pick 5 sequence. We've got the Devona Dale happening before the Pick 5 sequence even starts. Just FYI is returning. Would be an easy single on this sequence, so if you don't want to make this a Pick 6 sequence, go ahead and include just FYI as a single to kick it off. But today we're going to be talking about the late Pick 5, starting in race number 10, going all the way to race 14, the Fountain of Youth, Big Kentucky Derby prep. We got two really good horses coming back for that race to hopefully kick off the Derby contender season down there. I know Fierceness didn't really show up anymore in the Bull. He's going to come back in the Florida Derby. Hopefully the horses that we're seeing here are going to be in the Florida Derby as well. Big day there. But let's go ahead and get started with our Pick 5 sequence. We're going to start with leg 1. That's race number 10. So let's see 3-1 going 1 3/8 on the turf for older fillies and mares. We got a nice little marathon race. We love seeing these long distance turf races. At least I love seeing them. Anything can happen here. Field of 10 running in this race. First one I'm going to be going with is number 6 horse, Anatolian by Michael Maker with Luis Saez on board. This horse coming off of the grade 3 down at Gulfstream, another 1.5 mile race down at Gulfstream that a couple of these horses came in. Horse got third in that race by a second. Was ridden by Tyler Gaffalione in this race. And I'm gonna talk about the other horse from that race that's here as well. That's the number 10, R. Callie Kim. Now Gaff is choosing to ride R. Callie Kim in this race where he rode Anatolian in the last race. So I don't know if that tells us something about his thought process on who he thinks is better. But Anatolian kind of likes to sit mid-pack. Didn't really make up a ton of ground in that race there. I think R. Callie Kim is more of a deep closer. But in that specific race was coming from pretty close. Wasn't able to close into it. Hit the stretch second. Stayed second. They went super slow that race. They went 49 for the half. These longer races do tend to be slow. But we are looking to get a little bit of pace here. We've got 2 front runners, about 6 or 7 mid-pack runners, and then 2 deep closers. So again, might be kind of soft, but if a horse like, Sister Luann, and let's see who else. Who's the other E-type in this race? Sister Luann and Angel Nadeshiko. They're looking to cook up front. Angel Nadeshiko went gate to wire last out at Santa Anita back in December. So I think both of them are looking to kind of sit on the front, not push too hard, but with so many mid-pack runners, one of them might be able to push it. R. Callie Kim, 7 years old, carrying a lot of weight here. Last out 94 Brisnet, 95 before that, 102 before that. Really solid speed figures. Won 5 of its last 6 races. If you were to go even further back, won another race. So 6 of its last 8 races. Very good horse. Gaff has been on board for a lot of her career. No wonder he's jumping back on here. Love the older experience. Love Gaff down at Gulfstream. Love that he's choosing R. Callie Kim over Anatolian. So a lot of my confidence is going there. But I still like Anatolian's performance last out. And then the other one I want to include is Miss Yearwood. Now, Miss Yearwood ran at Gulfstream twice last year. She ran the same undercard on the Fountain of Youth undercard last year in the Honey Fox, which is another race later on in the day. Didn't perform well that day. Came back in the Orchid at Gulfstream. Didn't perform well that day, but then finished up with back-to-back wins at both Keeneland and Churchill to round out the summer. Came back at Gulfstream in December off of the long layoff. Got 4th, but those races down at Keeneland and Churchill were pretty impressive. And coming back off the layoff, kind of flat, wasn't impressive. Got 4th. Hopefully, coming back off of a second layoff, looks to improve as she turns 5. Love her chances here. I'm going to be going 3 deep here with the 2 coming out of that key race, Anatolian and R. Callie Kim. and then throwing in Miss Yearwood to be my third choice. Moving on to leg number 2, race 11, the Gulfstream Park Mile, going a mile on the dirt. We've seen a lot of good horses here in the past, kind of setting up for future older horses for the year. I'm going to go 2 deep here. I'm going to go my top choice here is the number 5, Tumbarumba, and coming off of last performance, the Fred H. Hooper down here at Gulfstream got a 100 Brisnet, won by a nose. Beat another horse in this race, Castle Chaos. But I like that this horse was able to come from off the pace and kind of catch him at the wire. Love that. 2 back, 103 Brisnet at Fairgrounds, got a 2nd place there. 3 back, 105 Brisnet in the Oklahoma Derby. Got 3rd place in that race. So that's 3 straight triple-digit Brisnet speed figures. You can see this horse is improving. Hopefully a lot of performance here as a 4-year-old moving forward. I think the mile distance is going to be perfect as well. Best 2 races have come at a mile at Gulfstream and at Ellis Park. So Tumbarumba is my top choice here. But I also want to include Il Miracolo, who's kind of a wild card to me. Last year, he ran the Florida Derby, got 6th, came back in an allowance race, won that, and then was kind of knocking about in those 3-year-old restricted races all year long. Went to the Belmont, got 7th, was in the Curlin, got 2nd there, the Smarty Jones, Pennsylvania Derby, Fayette, the Clark. 3rd place in the Clark was pretty impressive. I liked that performance there, got a 97 Brisnet, and then started the year at the Pegasus World Cup, which is a really kind of deep waters to start the year off in. Impressive 6th place finish, and the horses that came from that race have gone on to do really well. National Treasure and Senor Buscador just ran the Saudi Cup last week. Senor Buscador winning that race. So we know that field has been impressive so far. And for him to be able to not throw up an impressive speed figure in that race, but sit mid-pack, not get totally embarrassed going against olders, looked good to me. I'm not saying he's going to win this race, but I do like him as an intriguing new 4-year-old coming onto the scene. So I'm going to be including these 2, Tumbarumba, Il Miracolo. Going 2 deep here. No one else is really interesting to me, so just going to go 2 deep and move on. Moving on to leg 3, race number 12, the Grade 3 Canadian Turf, going a mile and 16th on the turf. Go field of 10. I'm going to go 3 here, and they're all 3 right next to each other as well, which I love. So the first horse we're going to be talking about is the number 2 horse, Smokin' Tea for Shug McGahee, John Velasquez, 5 years old. Last race out at Churchill back in November, the River City Grade 3. Won that race fairly decisively, coming from off the pace. This horse likes to be near the front, usually sits 2nd, 3rd, 4th. That race was a little bit further back, was able to make a big move around the stretch and power home to win pretty impressively in that race. Beat another horse here, Siege of Boston. So Smokin' Tea's looking in good form. Coming off the layoff, you don't know how he's going to perform off the layoff, but it's not what I want to be leaving off here. Consistently 90-plus Brisnet speed figures and Beyer speed figures. This horse is performing at a high level every single time it goes out there. Never finishing, hasn't finished past 3rd place in a long time, since July of 2022. So he's going to bring a big run. So Smokin' Tea is going to be right there. My next horse is going to be Emmanuel. If you watch the show enough, I love Emmanuel. I'm always picking this horse to win. Usually not on the right days where he does win. Last start was in the 4-star Dave, the Grade 1 4-star Dave back at Saratoga last August. Has not raced since then. But before that, did throw up the win in the poker at Belmont earlier in the year at the Tampa Bay Stakes at Tampa. Won that race and then followed that up with another win in this race last year at Gulfstream. So looking to follow up and go back-to-back in the Canadian Turf for his debut as a 5-year-old. I like his chances here. It is kind of again, deep waters to go into first race of the year, but I like this horse. He's done well. Todd Pletcher, Irad Ortiz, can't go wrong with that combo here. Hopefully he can defend his crown. And then the last horse I want to include is the number 4, Turf King. And this is one of the lightly raced horses of this field, and I really like that about him. 4 races, 3 wins, and a 3rd in those 4 starts. Has not raced since July at Woodbine. Again, Chad Brown loves to debut these good horses on big days. We talked about it at Tampa, where he was debuting some really good horses there at Tampa. Gaffleon gets the mount. He rode him for his first 2 starts at Gulfstream and Keeneland, so he's coming back aboard. Love that he's got the experience. Love that he has the confidence. Love that Chad Brown is debuting him on a big day. And again, has a grade 3 win, has an allowance win. And his one race that he lost, he got 3rd place, which is still an impressive win. Speed figures aren't super impressive. He's not throwing up mid to high 90s consistently. Hasn't gotten over 100. But as a question mark for a lightly raced horse, that's kind of what I want to see in a field like this, where I'm going a little bit deeper. So going to fade some of the known quantities like Atone, Napoleonic War. Don't want any part of them. Going to go with these 3 and move on to the next race. So going 2, 3, 4 in leg number 3. Moving on to leg 4, race number 13, the grade 3 Honey Fox, going a mile and a turf for fillies and mares 4-year-old and up. First one and this is another one where pace is going to be a little bit interesting here, where we do have a lot of speed and we do have a couple of different closers. First one we're looking at is the number 2 Candy Light for Tyler Gaffleon and Saffie Joseph. This is going to be one of our deep closers here. She's coming off a win at Gulfstream. Gaff rode her on that day too. That was back in January, where she was able to come off the pace. Got a 91 Brisnet for that. That was Saffie's first off the trainer change. Was previously trained by Grand Motion. Saffie got her, instantly win. Saffie does well off the claims and the trainer changes. So racing at Gulfstream is home track. I think he's going to do well here with Candy Light. And then moving on to the number 7 horse for the flag. This one is a front runner, and this is a true front runner, needs the lead, has to be on the lead to win. So going with 2 different opposite styles here, where Candy Light's going to come from off the pace and deep close for the flag. If this does end up being a soft pace, where one horse can just kind of go gate to wire and walk the dog all the way around the track, I think For the Flag is the one to look at there. Has been able to go gate to wire in 3 of its last 5 races. Last 2 out, got close seconds at Kentucky Downs and at Ellis Park. Has not raced since September. So again, a little bit of a question mark, debuting on a big day in a graded stakes race against solid older company. Kind of rolling the dice on this one as a question mark and kind of a pace of play horse, but I like her chances here as well. And then moving to the outside, the number 9 horse, Time Passage. And again, using this horse as another one of the front runners. So For the Flag and Time Passage, they're both E8 styles. They both need the lead. I think one of them is going to get the lead. I think one of them is going to be sitting second. And if they don't burn each other out, then it's going to set up perfectly for them to just go the entire way together. But inversely, if they burn each other out, it's going to set up perfectly for Candy Light, and it's going to set up perfectly for the other closers here. So Candy Light going with it. Those 2 front runners and another front runner. That's the number 11 horse, Ancient Peace, who I think, Brian Lentz, Javier Castellano, raced at Gulfstream in a sprint. This is a little bit longer than the sprint, a mile. She was racing at 7 furlongs and 7.5 furlongs. But came back in that sprint, got second, but showed a little bit of diversity there. So Brisnet has her as an E8, but in that first race off of the layoff, she was able to sit off the pace. She was able to go third, fourth, finish second strongly. Doesn't need the lead like those other 2, like For the Flag, like Time Passage. Has that versatility there. And if you're looking for a horse that has versatility that can kind of take advantage of not necessarily a slow pace or a quick pace, but kind of a moderate pace, I think Ancient Passage has a chance there to get up and hit the board. So those are the 4 that I'm going to go with: Candy Light, For the Flag, Time Passage, and Ancient Peace. Moving on to the last leg, leg number 5, race 14, the grade 2 Fountain of Youth for 3-year-olds, going a mile and 16th on the dirt. We've got 2 really big favorite Kentucky Derby horses in here for this year, with the number 5 Dornoch and the number 8 Locked. Dornoch's getting a lot of attention because the horse that he beat last out, Sierra Leone, had a really impressive win a couple weeks ago, or last out in that race down at Louisiana. So if Sierra Leone's the current Derby favorite, quote unquote, then Dornoch, who beat him last out, should be able to kind of put this field away as well. That Remsen he raced was really good. The maiden that he had 2 back at Keeneland, where he won by 6 lengths, was also very impressive. Speed figures are there. is a front runner, is looking to go gate to wire here. And I think a lot of these horses are going to try to have that kind of style. So Dornoch is not the one I'm going to be going with. I really appreciated how Sierra Leone won that race down at Fairgrounds. But I'm going to be looking elsewhere. I'm going to be going to Locked, your Breeders' Cup juvenile favorite, who didn't live up to expectations that day, but is bouncing back. Hopefully we can get that bounce back performance here. Still got third in the Breeders' Cup and got a 104 Brisnet, which is really impressive. It's higher than anyone in this field. It has higher than Dornoch. I think it's higher than still Sierra Leone did down at Fairgrounds. So I'm going to be singling Locked coming from off the pace. I think we're going to get some solid pace here. We've got, let's see, how many E runners? 1, 2, 3, 4 pure E runners plus 2 EP runners. And Locked is the only S-type runner here. Locked is going to get the pace that he needs. He's going to be able to make that move on that far turn. We saw it last year with Forte, who came exact same route. Went to the Breeders' Cup, sat out the Holly Bowl, sat out the early parts of the season, debuted in the Fountain of Youth as a closer, and then was able to kind of make it home. I think Locked is going to have that exact same performance. Looking forward to it. Same trainer, same Todd Pletcher, Jose Ortiz. Loved Locked here as my ice cold single to finish off the ticket. So here we go. Here's my selections. We've got the 6, 8, and 10 in race number 10, the 4 and 5 in race 11, the 2, 3, and 4 in race 12, the 2, 7, 9, 11 in race 13, and singling the 8 in the final leg to make that a $36 ticket. Good luck to everyone this weekend playing Gulfstream and watching the Fountain of Youth. We've got some other Derby preps here going on as well. Make sure to watch all the videos on our channel at Trust the Profits. Follow along on Twitter at Trust the Profits and follow me at Horse Guy Mike. Good luck to everyone and cash some tickets.